Hi, everybody. Welcome to Eating Peace. This is Grace. A long time ago, I was an athlete, and in high school, I did a whole bunch of different kinds of sports. And then one of them that I felt pretty successful at and continued on in college and later was cross country running. And I was pretty dang intense about it. And ran for several years beyond that time as my main primary form of exercise. At some point in my own healing journey and recovery, wanting no longer to be anorexic, no longer to have an intense, extreme way of exercising, like hammering myself, it wasn't kind. I just stopped the whole thing. I stopped exercising. I wanted to get the experience of feeling what it was like to enjoy my body moving, whether it was running or dancing or walking, whatever it was going to be. I wanted to find out what I really, really liked. And I kind of shut everything down. Well, a little bit longer later, in therapy, working on myself, learning about having my eating issues and my compulsions and all of it, I decided I really loved to move and I wanted to bring that back into my life, but it had to be kind. It had to be fun. It had to be simple. And I wanted to keep it so tiny and small that I knew I could do it on a daily basis. I joined a gym and I said to myself, based on learning from other people, mentors and guides and people that were helping me, I didn't come up with this myself. What can I do at that gym that doesn't feel brutal and like I'm pushing myself ridiculously and just wind up quitting? And it was to ride a bike there in the gym for 15 minutes. That's it. I knew there was some sort of books and information out about how if you just did 12 minutes of aerobics exercise, you were kind of getting something, getting all the benefits of heart beating and lungs going and all that stuff. So for about a year, I would walk over to that gym, which was only 1 block away from my apartment, and I would get on the bike and I would ride for 15 minutes. I'd even take a book with me, and that I could handle. And I would stop. I wouldn't make myself go longer like I used to. I mean, sometimes I would do 3-hour workouts in the past. It was insanity. I didn't want to be spending that much time in my life exercising anyway. It was obsessive. It was addictive. It was like using exercise to kind of either get your feelings out, tire yourself out, or manage your body and weight, or just be so driven. And I did not want that in my life anymore. It was not kind. So for about a year, I had this gym membership and I only used it for like 15 minutes. And I think it was maybe 5 days a week. And that I could get rolling on really, really well. So what I just wanted to mention today and talk about is some small aspect of really the eating peace principles that I like to teach, where you're learning what's going on deep inside, what's within you, and then what works to remain alive as a steady change of habit, change of thought, change of pattern. And that is to make very small, not tall, small, tiny incremental steps in change. Steps that you really can do, that feel kind, that feel supportive, that feel loving. I mean, if you had a map and you were going from Seattle, where I live, to Colorado, which is I had done many times as a drive. I went there for a year to go to college, and I had relatives in Colorado, so I've made that journey on highways. There are several ways to get there from Seattle to Colorado. But if you open up a map and watch and look, and you have to go from here, Seattle, and then travel south in the United States to the state of Colorado, and then get to Boulder or Denver, you know which direction you're going, and you're not, whether you take side roads or primary highways or whatever way you are choosing to go, whatever stops you might make along the way, you are basically headed in the direction of Colorado. And sometimes when people make really amazing, long, powerful journeys, which sometimes is exactly what is going on when you are starting from here, from where you are, and you feel like you're a complete wreck and a mess when it comes to eating and food. And where you want to go is completely peaceful, free, comfortable in your body, easy and trusting with food and eating. It seems like such a giant gap between the two. It's going to take a while. But if you have a map and you start to allow yourself to take one little tiny step from here, headed in that other direction, your movement is in that direction, then you can let it take as long as it takes and just take a little bit of a journey. You would never expect yourself to go, I don't know, like, even though some people do it, I suppose, from Seattle to Colorado without ever stopping and sleeping, without ever stopping. I mean, everyone has to stop and go to the bathroom. You need to stop and rest, It's usually like at least an overnight journey, although I've actually done it as a young person without ever stopping, but I don't recommend it. And so you need to take care of yourself along the way. And sometimes when you do a really epic journey, when you're moving from someplace to someplace else and it seems really far away, and there's gonna take a lot of different pieces of the journey and puzzle to put together to get to that other place, well, you might even stop for a while and like get a job for a while and earn some money, or explore the area you're in and stay for a bit. That happens when you're on an epic journey. And I call learning to be at peace and trusting and loving of your body and yourself, that is an epic journey. Some of us, if you're like me, it's you're in such war and battle and self-criticism and judgment and anxiety around food and eating, you can't even imagine what it would be like to be peaceful. So consider making a few tiny incremental steps, the ones where you almost think that's not going to make a difference. Believe me, it will. Every piece of emotional, mental, psychic, spiritual, physical healing that I've made in this relationship with food and eating has been from small, steady little steps that I could do. And then once you get in the motion and the habit of it, and you notice how fun it is and easy, you do a little something more. Maybe life is always like that. But you can do that too. So try that today when it comes to either movement, exercising and movement, just wondering what you can do that would work, or making a little shift when it comes to food and eating, which is, I often recommend, first just notice when you feel the urge, when you feel craving and compulsion, and write it down. Write down what's bothering you in that moment. And incredible insights can happen from that. So, 5 minutes of writing in a journal a day, beginning to just keep a food journal. How about today, all you did was go out and buy an eating journal? Do that just for this week. That's your goal. Make it really small, make it handleable, make it manageable. It's exciting to be in movement as a human being. We all love the experience of peace in the present moment, and you can be peaceful and excited and also know you're kind of in movement, you're in action, you are doing something, you're thinking about which journal you want to buy, you're being willing to sit for 5 minutes in silence, you're interested in finding out what's really going on and believing, as you do the work and question your own mind, that it's possible to question your stressful thinking and turn it around to, I can do this, I am safe, it's possible to be free. I know that can move what's just right for my body, just the way I did for 15 minutes of biking so long ago, so that I could get back and find out what I really wanted to do that wasn't a driven kind of, prison of having to move and exercise, but was more done as a joyful thing. And it's been that way ever since. And I bet you I exercise and move and sweat for an hour almost every day. And I love it. It's just a total habit. It's a no-brainer. It's easy. I am never making myself do it. And you can do that too in your life. So just start with a tiny thing. And if you're wondering where to even start, send me an email. We can talk about it. Grace@workwithgrace.com. Okay. Bye, everybody. Take care. Lots of peace.